Welcome. Namaste. So nice to practice with you. Tonight we're going to continue our series of foundations of Hatha, and we'll be going through some more foundational postures, less standing postures, and more seated postures tonight. So have any props handy. Tonight I'm going to be using two blocks, and anything else that you want to have available, just make sure it's within arm's reach. So we have been factoring in coordinating our movement with our breath. We also layered in the principle of effort and ease and cultivating effort within a posture, but then also finding space for ease alongside that effort. And that feels and looks different for every posture and for every day and for your goal for each practice. And today we're also going to explore the principle of discipline within yoga, which doesn't need to be a hardcore thing. It can be consistency and just simply showing up on your mat. And that's just something that we can explore through effort and action, but also the yogic principle of not having attachment to outcome. So I really like that concept because it trains us to be practitioners of the process and not be striving for the fruits. So I think that's a really wonderful lesson that we can take off the mat as well, because no matter what happens in life, we've got to chop wood and carry water. Sometimes we have ups and sometimes we have downs. Sometimes things work out the way that we want. But being in that attitude of showing up, and I think taking responsibility is a nice way to look at it as well, not just like discipline being hardcore, but being responsible and active in our lives and on our mat. So, sitting comfortably and just taking a big exhale, letting go of your day. And if you like, closing your eyes or simply relaxing your eyes, having them half closed and gazing down at the tip of your nose. Coming into awareness of our external environment, but allowing it to be softly in our periphery or our peripheral awareness. And bringing our immediate awareness to the sensations in our body, the sensation of our hips and legs resting on the earth beneath us. And awareness of our breath. Starting to deepen your breath, inhaling for the count of 4, exhaling for the count of 4. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. Inhaling for 4. Exhale for 4. We might just lengthen the breath on the exhalation a little. So we'll inhale for 4 and exhale for 5, and then build into 6, 7, and 8. Anytime it feels uncomfortable or like you're straining, just come back to your regular breathing pattern. Exhale completely and inhaling for 4. Exhale for 5. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 7. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. One more time, inhaling for 4. Exhale for 8. And keeping that nice long exhalation, we'll move straight into Goranga breathing. Inhaling the sound silently into our mind. And exhale to say the sound. Goranga. Continuing on, inhale. Goranga. 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 One last time. Goranga. Come back to your regular breathing pattern, allowing the mantra to resonate through your mind and heart. And you can slowly open your eyes if you like, or keep them closed while we do a little bit of warm up and awareness practice. Staying seated with your legs crossed. We will take our hands to our knees, warming up through the spine, dropping back into your lower back, belly toward the spine, chin toward your chest, hanging into your knees and your spine. So your hands are cupping around your knees, dropping your weight back. And then inhaling as you come forward, lifting the lower back forward, lifting the chest forward and taking your gaze up. Exhale, dropping back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last time each way. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to center. Taking our spine from side to side now. So we'll place the left hand to the floor, reaching the right hand up and over. Anchoring down through the right hip, holding here for a couple of breaths. Letting your legs and hips be soft as you reach up and over from your lower back, up through your neck, through the arm and into the fingertips. And coming up to center, lowering the right hand to the floor, softening through your elbow and lifting and reaching over to the right, reaching through the left fingertips and softening the left hip down to the floor. And breathing evenly. Nice. And come back up. Coming to bound angle pose or butterfly, bringing the soles of your feet together. Sliding your heels in nice and close toward your groin and allowing your knees to fall out to the sides. Taking your hands cupped around your feet, pressing your knees down toward the floor as you draw against your hands, lifting into your spine and lifting into the crown of your head. So you've got this two-way energetic of pressing down through the knees, grounding down through the hips, and then from the lower back area, lengthening through the spine all the way into the crown of the head. Shoulders down away from your ears. Soften into your face. Now you can keep your torso upright if you like. Alternatively, folding forward, hinging at the hips as you come forward over your feet, dropping your elbows down to the insides of your knees, and gently pressing the knees down toward the floor, allowing your head to come forward, breathing naturally. One last breath here. And raise your torso coming up, crossing your feet over and coming up to stand. Coming to the top of our mat. We've practiced sun salutations over the past couple of weeks, so probably getting a bit familiar with the sequence now. So we'll move straight into it today. I'll still include modifications through the first one, but we will go from a one breath per movement pace right from the beginning. But please go at your own pace, slow down if you need to. Standing with your feet together, grounding down through your feet and reaching through the crown of your head. Take a breath. Inhaling, raise your arms up, bring your palms together, looking toward your thumbs. Exhale, bending through the knees or straight legs as you fold forward, hands to the floor. Inhale, flat back, sliding your hands up your shins or fingertips to the floor. Exhale, hands and lower down. Maybe knees to the floor or just coming straight. Inhale, starting in a little cobra. And if you feel able to, going straight into upward dog, lifting the hips off the floor, pressing the palms into the floor. And knees to the floor, belly draws in, tuck the toes, pressing through the palms as you lift your hips, coming back into downward dog. And as it's your first downward dog, you might want to paddle out through your heels a little, lifting and lowering from side to side to open up through the backs of the legs. And then finding your way into downward dog, holding here for just one more breath. Looking between your hands and jumping or stepping your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. And either bending through the knees or straight legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Palms come together, look to the thumbs. Exhale, lowering your arms by your sides. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward for round two. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back into plank. Lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, lift back into downward dog. Spreading nice and broad through your palms, your fingers and thumbs. Lifting into the hips and lengthening your heels down toward the floor. And one more full breath here. Looking between your hands, jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Whoop, there goes my mic. And exhale, arms down by your sides. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back into plank. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, lift back into downward dog. Press the palms away, and that'll help activate through your shoulders, feeling your spine lengthening. Hips are lifted and heels are lowering down. One more breath here. Looking between your hands and jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, arms by your sides. And rest, feeling the beautiful circulation through your body, the energy flow, blood flow, all that goodness circulating your body. And we'll move into some standing poses now. I'm going to grab my blocks and have them by my mat. So we will start with pyramid pose, which is from the triangle family. So we'll start at the the top of our mat, and we'll step the left foot back. Left foot is at a very slight angle, and your right foot is pointing forward. Taking your hands to your hips, lift and lengthen, and then hinge forward at your hips. Anytime it feels too strong on any of your joints, you can bring a soft bend into the front knee to soften the stretch. And from there, you might like to take blocks underneath your hands as we fold forward, bringing our hands to the floor, or to press down into blocks either side of your foot. And once you feel like you're in a nice stable position, then begin to soften forward over your leg. Keep anchoring down into your back heel, nice and long through your spine, and also pressing down into your front foot. So you've got a nice strong energy through your legs. One more breath. And soft bend through your front knee, hands to your hips, and raise your torso up. And we'll rotate around to the left side. So you can swivel your feet around. If you're going to use your blocks again, just bringing them over to this side so they're nice and handy. Your back foot is at about a 45-degree angle. Front toes are facing forward. Hands start at your hips and feel the top of your hip bones so you can feel as you fold forward, they're not swinging out to the side. So you're going to keep them tracking forward as you fold forward over that front leg. Remembering you can bend that front knee at any time to create more ease in the pose. And then taking your hands to the blocks or to the floor. Anchoring down into the back foot. Pressing down firmly into the front foot. And then surrender forward over your front leg. And then finding your breath. So nice and active through the legs, softening into your face. Long through your spine, but soft through your upper body. Finding that nice balance of effort and ease. One more breath here. And start to raise your chest, soft bend through your front knee, bring your hands to your hips. Lift your torso, and now we'll swivel around so that we're sideways on our mat. Take a breath. And taking your hands to your hips. Feet are facing forward, but ever so slightly, big toes turned in so that the outer edges of your feet are running parallel with the edges of your mat. And that's going to give you a nice strong, you'll feel it, a nice strong tension on the outer lines of your legs, outer edges of your legs. Hands to your hips, folding forward at the hips as you come forward, bringing your hands to the floor, or again, you might like to bring hands to blocks. And we'll stay here for a moment. Take a breath. And then exhale, folding forward as you bring your torso to that space between your legs. And you might find that you can move your feet out a little wider, maybe reaching the crown of your head to the floor. And just placing your hands wherever they feel comfortable for the moment. If you feel you can begin to walk your hands underneath your body, reaching your hands behind you. Shoulders down away from your ears. Keep pressing down firmly into your feet. Nice, steady breathing. Feel the backs of your legs lengthening as you reach into your sitting bones. Inhale and exhale. Begin to walk your hands forward, coming into a half lift. And take your hands to your knees, soft hands to your knees, hands to your hips, soft bend in your knees, raise your torso up. If you need a little break with your legs, just heel toe your feet back together. So we're going to take the same pose again, but we'll clasp our hands together behind us. And if this feels too strong to go into a shoulder stretch as well, just come back to the variations we were just practicing. So we'll go hands clasped together, feeling your shoulder blades drawing in toward one another, pressing down through the feet as you fold forward through the hips, drawing in through your belly, and then dropping the head, taking the arms up and over, maybe lowering the crown of the head to the floor. And then it's up to you with your shoulder mobility and how much depth you want to go into there. Option to press your arms down toward the floor. We're going to hold it here for another 2 breaths. And to release out of the pose, softly bend through your knees. Start lifting your head up off the floor, lowering your arms back, hands to your sacrum, and lift your torso up. Slowly release your hands. Heel toe your feet back together. And take some nice, relaxing breaths here. It's a really invigorating pose. Okay, let's find our way down to the floor. Extend your legs and bring your right sole of your foot to your left inner thigh. Pressing the sole of your foot right into your inner thigh, and your heel is coming right into that groin area. Flex your left toes back toward you, lift and lengthen, and fold forward over your left leg. Maybe you've got a strap you'd like to loop around the sole of your foot and you can draw against it, or you can take hold of your foot, your shin, the floor, finding a point of contact where you can lift and then fold forward, lowering forward over that left leg, wherever you land, and then dropping into a nice steady breath. Gently engaging through the thigh, softly drawing in through your belly. Inhale and exhale. Hands to the floor, pressing yourself up. Extend your right leg forward, take a breath. And now bring the left foot in. Left sole of the foot right to the inner thigh with the heel pressing right up into the groin. Flexing the right toes back toward you. Inhale and exhale, folding forward. Taking your time, moving with your breath. So inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to soften a little deeper. And then when you feel like you're pretty much settled into where you're going to go, how you're going to land in the pose, then start to take your awareness inward, firming the thighs, softening the belly, drawing it in slightly, and allowing yourself to just fold forward however that looks and feels for you. And sometimes we have one side that's tighter than the other, so don't feel like both sides have to look or feel the exact same. Just listening to your body. Inhale and exhale. Release your hands to the floor. Press yourself up. Extend both legs out. Give them a little shake. Okay. Now we'll go into a seated forward fold. Flexing your toes back toward you, firming through your thighs. Gently scoop in through your belly as you lift up through your spine. So you're scooping in through the belly, which helps to create a little bit more space for folding at the hips. And as you flex your toes back toward you and firm your thighs, it helps to lengthen and release through the hamstrings. And either taking your belt around the sole of your feet or first two fingers wrapped around your big toes. Draw against your feet, your toes. Lift and lengthen, inhaling. Exhaling, folding forward. Keep drawing in through the navel. Now settling into the pose. We're going to hold here for about 10 breaths. As you hold the position, you might notice that your body just releases a little more after a few breaths. So you might like to adjust your hand placement or drop your elbows. Maybe your chest comes a little closer toward your thighs. Really withdrawing your senses from everything around you, any chatter in your mind, and dropping into the experience of the sensations in your body. Experiencing things with an open mind, with equanimity, no judgment, not attaching to thoughts, just being present in the experience and being responsive to your body. Just a couple more breaths. And getting ready to release. Lower your hands and start walking your hands back, pressing your torso up. Taking your hands behind you, rest for a moment. Okay. So this next pose is a nice counter pose for seated forward fold. We'll go into a modification first, and then we'll go into the full reverse plank. So take your feet to the floor, feet hip distance apart, and your hands behind you. Fingers facing towards your feet, but if that feels too strong on your wrists, you can adjust them so that your fingers are out to the side or fingers are pointing back. Hands underneath the shoulders and raise the hips up to make a tabletop position with your body. Pressing down through your feet, press down into your palms and lift your hips up. It's a really nice stretch through the shoulders and Feeling your legs working actively. And if you feel you can gently take your head back. So you're opening up through the throat. Keep pressing down into your toes, the balls of your feet, your heels, lifting through the hips. And inhale, exhale. Begin to lower your hips. Head naturally comes forward and cross your legs, resting your hands on your legs. We'll take a breath. Hopefully, you can feel that beautiful prana rush and circulation through your arms and wrists. So, repeat that pose if that felt like it was strong enough for you, or for the full option, going into reverse plank. So, we'll take our legs extended out, hands behind us, pressing down into your palms. And when you're ready, we're going to lift up, pressing the feet to the floor and lift through the hips. So actively pressing into your palms, fingers facing toward your feet, and your toes and the soles of your feet are reaching down to the mat. Keep lifting through the hips and maybe taking the head back. Squeezing and activating through your thighs, your glutes, long through your body, making an angle all the way from your shoulder down to your hip, down to your ankle. One more breath. And inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhaling, lowering your hips to the floor. And lower your chin, bring your head back to center. Cross your legs, hands resting in your lap. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. Nice and exhilarating. All right. Give your wrists a little twirl to stretch them out a little bit. And I will invite you to have a block handy. We'll take it out in front for this next pose. Taking your legs out wide into a seated wide angle position. Options here. Usually the most implemented prop in this position is to take either a bolster or a folded blanket underneath the hips. And that gives you a little bit of lift in the spine and decreases the angle on the hips. So if you're feeling a little bit like hunched over or strained through the lower back, take a cushion or folded blanket underneath your hips and see if that helps you to feel more comfortable. And then I've also got the block out in front as well, because as we fold forward, you might like to bring your head down to rest on the top of the block. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Walking your hands forward. We're not going to go into the full forward fold yet. We're just going to go into a little bit of warm up and some variations. So just gently rocking a little bit from side to side. And this just helps to ease into the stretch, opening up through the hips and groin. Good. And then walk your hands forward a little. So we're tilting forward from the hips, trying to keep the spine nice and long. Good. And walk your hands back. And we'll take it over to one side and over to the other side. So reaching the arm up and over, reaching over to the right, taking your left arm up and over, grounding down through the left hip. Similar action to the warm up that we did right at the beginning of our practice. And coming up and over to the other side. And back to center. Now we'll rotate through the torso and fold. It's not a clean fold, it's a slightly awkward rotated fold. So if it feels awkward, that is how it's supposed to feel. So you bring your shoulders so that you're facing toward your right foot and then folding in a diagonal way, kind of diagonal direction over your right leg. Hands to the floor or hands reaching for your foot. So you get this nice compression through your right side body. Good. And press yourself up. Come back to center. Rotate to the left and fold forward over the left leg. Good. And come up. Coming back to center. Now we're going to fold forward. All right. Walking your hands forward and propping yourself up either on palms to the floor with your arms straight, as long as you've got a bit of a tilt in the pelvis and your spine is nice and long, you'll feel a little bit of a stretch through the groin. And then as it starts to ease a little bit, you can walk your hands out a little more, a little more. Further still, you can come down into your forearms, maybe bringing your head to rest on a block or on a lower setting. Or you can also try taking your hands forward or out to the side. So we'll stay here for about another 5 or 6 breaths, taking your time with each breath. And exploring that concept of effort and ease, but I think this time we can bring in the concept of discipline and showing up, that even though we're experiencing strong sensations and it might feel a little uncomfortable, being able to stay and keep breathing, building up our tolerance muscles, showing up and doing what we set out to do, even if we're feeling an internal sense of resistance or discomfort. I think that pretty much sums up the experience of discipline or the concept of discipline. Staying here for a few more breaths. And just funny that, we're practicing non-attachment to the outcome, but pretty sure we all show up because we always feel good after practice. We have that. We have that knowing that always feel good after practice, even if there's some not so good feelings in amongst it all. One more breath here. All right. Now slowly bringing your torso up, pressing down into your palms, lifting up. Take a breath. Take your hands under your knees and bring your legs together. Did anyone hear any creaking? Pretty sure my hips were creaking. Wrapping your arms around your legs and dropping your head toward your knees. Relax completely. Letting your hips, your belly, your back, your entire body be nice and soft and relaxed. Inhale. Exhale completely. And all right, release. Coming into a seated spinal twist. I'm going to use my block because I have a long torso and I find it hard to get my hand to the floor. So feel free to follow suit. We'll take our left leg under, bending the right knee and taking the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Settling both hips down to the floor. And again, if this is feeling a little tight on your hips, you can take a block under your hips, bolster a folded blanket, and it'll just give you a little bit of elevation and a bit more room to move into this kind of twisted position. With your hips nice and grounded, sit up tall. Taking, if you're using a block under your hand, taking the block behind your sacrum. We'll wrap the left elbow around the right knee and begin to rotate around to the right. So you're going across your body, placing the right hand to the floor or the block behind you. And if you feel you can go deeper into the twist, you can then shift your left elbow to the outside of your knee, pressing the elbow into your knee to help you lift and spiral through your spine, opening up through your palm and turning to look over your right shoulder. And the right hand is pressing down firmly, helping with that lift through the spine. Hips are grounded. And staying here, continuing to breathe evenly. And begin to slowly return to center. We'll take the right leg under now and the left leg over. The left foot comes to the outside of the right thigh. The block stays where it is pretty much behind you. Grounding down through your hips. Wrapping the right elbow around the left knee. Placing the left hand to the floor or block behind you and lift and rotate. Further still is to take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, opening up through your palm and turning to look over your left shoulder. Pressing down into that right hand. Lift and rotate. And slowly release. Carefully come back to center. Removing your block. And give your legs a little shake. Got one more pose to go before we make our way down onto our back to wind down our practice. So come over onto your knees. And modified version is to take a block underneath your hips, or maybe even two blocks, giving yourself a little bit of height to come into hero pose. So we'll be sitting on our heels, but you can start in this modified position with the elevated hips, and then you'll get the experience of this nice long and lifted spine, and your hips are still grounding down, legs are nice and grounded, shoulders down away from your ears. And to progress into the full pose, you might remove one block, or you may be able to go all the way, no blocks, hips to the floor. So if you're going no blocks, you'll need to just slide your feet out slightly, just to the outside of your hips, and very carefully, being very mindful of your knees, dropping your hips to the floor. So we shouldn't feel any pain or strain through our knee joints. If you're feeling any discomfort there, I would go back to a block or a bolster underneath your hips. All right. Once you're settled into position, taking your palms, resting on your thighs, lifting into the crown of your head, shoulders down. Soften through your face and relax your jaw and breathe. Being patient with each breath. Good. Option now to go into reclined hero for 5 breaths. Modified version would be to have a bolster behind your spine. And if it's too strong with your legs in hero, you can just take your legs into butterfly position instead. So if you're going to go all the way onto your back, just taking it nice and slow, your hands walking back behind you for support, and then come down onto your forearms. Taking hold of your feet with forearms to the floor, allowing your knees to move apart so that you've got plenty of space to carefully lower your spine to the floor. And either turning your palms up or gripping your feet. So your palms are just resting over your heels and you're able to just cup your heels with your hands, making this nice closed circuit kind of experience in the pose. Breathing. Again, just being present with sensations without attaching to any thoughts or reactions. Just observing the sensations in your body. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, we'll go reverse out the same way we came in. So coming onto your forearms, pressing down into your palms, lift up. And as a counter pose, come back into sitting on your heels in thunderbolt position. This might be far enough for you, but if you feel like you want to go into a child's pose, just coming forward, gently curling forward, taking your spine in the opposite direction, and relax for a couple of breaths. All right, let's find our way down onto our back. Taking the soles of your feet to the floor with knees bent and your feet as wide as your mat. And windscreen wipering your knees from side to side, shifting them from right to left, relaxing and releasing through the hips and lower back area. And taking your legs all the way over to one side. Relax completely. Maybe turning your head in the opposite direction. Gently drawing in through your navel, bring your head and knees back to center and shifting your legs over to the other side and turning to look in the opposite direction. And navel draws in, bringing the head and knees back to center. Draw your knees in, giving them a little hug. Maybe making some small circles. And release your legs to the floor. Make yourself comfortable in Shavasana. Feet falling out to the sides with your arms by your sides and your palms turned up. Gently tuck your chin and relax. Noticing how your mind and body feel after your practice. Feeling that your energy has become more invigorated and free flowing throughout your body. Your mind feels a little brighter and lighter. And at the same time, you feel more grounded and relaxed, creating a nice balance of energized yet grounded. Now taking your awareness all the way down to the soles of your feet, relaxing your toes from your big toes to your little toes. Relax the soles of your feet and feel your heels getting heavier and heavier as they rest against the floor. Soften into your ankles and relax your calf muscles. Your shin bones are heavy and your knees are soft. Relax your thighs and relax your hips. Both your legs are heavy and relaxed. Softening into your belly and feeling the sides of your torso as if they're melting down toward the floor. Relax into your chest, relaxing your ribs, your lungs, and softening into your heart. Feeling your collarbones broadening and releasing. Relax your shoulders. Feeling all the weight of the day falling away from your shoulders, releasing any tension. Allowing yourself to completely let go. Relax your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, and wrists. Relax your hands. Your fingers are gently curled. Moving your awareness to your lower back. Feeling your sacrum broadening and releasing. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and your neck. Feeling all the muscles either side of your spine to be deeply relaxed. Your head is heavy and your eyes are soft. Relax your jaw and relax your mouth. Your entire body is heavy and relaxed. You feel safe and warm. Nothing else to do and nowhere else to be. Just rest. Staying completely relaxed, coming into awareness of your breath. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. And we'll complete 5 rounds of Goranga breathing, just very gentle, audible enough that you can hear the sacred sound, drawing the sound in through your ears, into your mind, and down into your heart. It's going in your own breath cycle. Goranga, 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 Goranga. Goranga. Come back to your regular breathing pattern and wiggling your fingers and toes, rocking your head from side to side. Rolling over onto your left side, pressing yourself up to sit. Bring our palms together in prayer position, taking a short moment of appreciation for the opportunity to engage with Hatha yoga and the yoga process, all that it brings to our lives, the health of our mind and body. And closing off our practice by bowing our heads to offer our respects to each other. And bowing once more to offer our respects to the Supreme Soul. Namaste.